Boy, I'll tell you, you must have one peach of a man if he has convinced you that you have to have as much misogyny as he does in order to stay in your club and stay in good graces with him. Yeah, because I'll tell you what, women, none of us believe that you are having these opinions on your own. We don't. No, misogyny usually starts with men, and it's usually because of mommy issues. And then the women who are afraid of losing the men sort of extend that. So by proxy, they're acting out the man's mommy issues. They are. Well, let me just give you a little refresher here. You know, not all women want to get pregnant. They don't. In fact, a lot of women use birth control. Yeah, the failure rates can be up to 20% or more with some methods. You forgot about that, didn't you? No. You were just so excited to paint that slut bucket picture that you just said everyone goes in there. I'm not going to let anyone have an exception. The women who are victims of rape and incest, they don't get a pass either. Oh my gosh, there's very few of them. Except we know that's not true. In fact, ladies, 134 of those women and children are having to carry their rapist babies every single day. That's what you've done. 134 of them. They don't matter? That seems to be a lot of women that don't matter. Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. Women don't use abortion as birth control. They don't. That is a fantasy that has been made up by your man, that's probably been handed to them by a bunch of Republicans who realized once they lost college-educated suburban voters, well, they were going to have to get a lot of people to vote based on fear-mongering. And so they decided to paint the Dems as really awful, ugly, immoral people. And that worked. It sure worked. All you wanted was an excuse to believe that about them. That's all you wanted. You were like, oh my gosh, if women die on the operating table because doctors are afraid to treat them, well, that is just collateral damage for me getting my political football across the end zone. Yeah. With the infant mortality rate way up, the maternal mortality rate way up, and guess what? Abortions have not decreased. Bummer for you, huh? Whew, I guess we're going to have to assume that the cruelty is the point, because that's the only thing that's working for you. Your cruelty is really in full force, but your pious bullshit that you actually care about life is just not holding water. Just not. The facts are out. We know that you don't see them because you're in your echo chamber in the underbelly of the misinformation machine, which you feel like you have to be in because, like I said, gotta stick with your man. Gotta make sure he doesn't leave you. Except, you know what? He probably will. In fact, he might leave you for another one of you. Another one who maybe is even more misogynistic. And there you are, on your own island. You've ostracized all the women around you by hating them and putting them in that slut bucket that you love to use. And then what are you going to do when your man is gone? When your credibility is gone? When your integrity is gone? Yeah, that's a pickle, isn't it? Well, I guess until then, have the day that you deserve.